Hi and welcome back to program 62 in this series of TradeStation EasyLanguage programs and tutorials. If you've not seen video 1 in this series about program 62, you might wish to do that before you look at this video, but just in a nutshell, this program looks to calculate divergences between price and an oscillator. And the oscillator is for you to choose out of the following list. There's stochastic, there's RSI, TSI, MACD, CCI and Stochastic of RSI. The other big new thing about this program is that it can now be used on tick bars, on second bars and on some bars like point and figure and kagi and line break charts. But today's this video is going to be looking at the program applied to RadarScreen, and you can see here I've already applied it, and I've also already linked the symbol and the interval between this radar screen and this chart here. So if we were to click on a particular symbol, you'll see that we've got a divergence confirmed 3 bars back. And what I've done is set up the program so that with RadarScreen it runs at on the last tick of the bar, and what it then does is if it's bullish or bearish, it will show that for the next bar, and then that symbol, or rather the text in the grid, goes away. But we've also got an alert set up as well, so you can see whenever a bullish or bearish divergence occurs. So you'll notice in this particular case we just had a little dot appearing here. We could have lines drawn as well on the chart, but we're going to be looking here specifically at the radar screen. So I'm just going to make that fill the chart, and what I'm going to do is set up a new radar screen. So I'm just going to go to Trading App Window, and we're going to select radar screen, and I'm going to go first of all through and just get rid of some of the existing indicators that I've got applied to radar screen. Okay, so I'm just going to click those, and I'm just going to click remove, and so on. And then the next thing I'm going to do is insert a symbol list, and I'm just going to be using a TradeStation list of index components, and let's just use the S&P 500, so that's going to populate this with various symbols. And then we're going to insert the indicator, and this is indicator number 62. So I'm just going to add that to, and I just want to move it down. Now you'll see here that immediately we get a lot of plots that we may or may not want, probably a lot of which are not even to do with the calculation we're doing. In this particular case we're calculating divergence against the stochastic, so the stochastic is calculated, the others are not calculated, but we've still got those columns. So the first thing we need to do is just tidy up, and in each case we just right click on the column, and then we're going to say hide plot. So we're just going to need to get rid of the little tick mark in each case. And what I'm going to do, rather than letting you watch me do this, is I'll just do this and then stop the video and then restart it again when that is done, and then we can look at the rest of the program. Okay, once you've removed the plots, the program should look something like this. One thing to just make sure in the setup is if you go to Analysis Techniques and Program 62 for all symbols, just click on General and just make sure that you've got some load additional data there for cumulative calculations. The other thing we're going to want to set up is the alert, and I'm going to enable the alert, but I don't want it to alert continually. I'm just going to say alert once. And I'm going to click here as well, which is the message sensor notification settings. So just alert once. Now once you've done that, you'll notice starting to appear these little white flags here, which mean that the alert is active for that particular line in radar on the radar screen grid. And then what you'll notice when an alert has been alerted, you're then going to get little flags appearing at the right of the bar there, and you'll see that they're purple in this particular case. They're red when they just first happen, and then they become purple. The other thing you might want to set up is a automatic sort. So you can do that by just going Format, Sort, and then you can choose which column you're going to sort on. In our particular case, we're just going to sort, for example, on bearish. I'm going to say OK. Incidentally, we probably just want to make sure the data is kept sorted, so we could change that to, I don't know, every 10 seconds, something like that. And we probably just want to make sure it's sorted the right way. So again, just Format, Sort, and we're going to make that arrow point downwards. And then we can see that we're seeing all the symbols that the program is saying there is a bearish divergence for at the moment. And again, if you wanted to link this to a chart, you would just need to simply change the color here at the top of the screen, and then you would need to go and do the same thing on a chart. Okay, so let's just look at the inputs for this program. So again, we're going to go Format, Analysis Technique, and Program 62 for all symbols. I'm going to click on Inputs. Now, as I said in the first video, a lot of these are probably not going to be relevant to you depending on which oscillator you've chosen. So the first thing to determine is the oscillator that you want. Now, which oscillator, I know if that's set to 1, then we're talking about the stochastic. So you would then need to go through the stochastic inputs and make sure that they're as you would wish them to be. Now, some of them apply only to charts, but by setting them, it's not doing any harm. The things that are going to affect whether you see bullish and bearish flags in RadarScreen are going to be the max array size, just similar to with the chart, how many pivot pairs we're looking back at to see if there might have been a divergence between the newly found pivot pair and the one that's stored in the array. Which oscillator obviously depends on the oscillator that you're looking at. And again, just to reiterate, the program has a choice of the following oscillators and then sub options within those oscillators. And then the strength of the pivots, and in this particular case we've got left strength of 3, right strength of 2, but you can set that up to be as you wish. And then bar tolerance, again, this is the number of bars between which the price pivot and the oscillator pivot can occur, just bearing in mind that they don't always occur on the same bar. And then the draw trend line, the draw ellipse are totally irrelevant in the RadarScreen version of the program. So as I say, program 62 is available for download. It's going to be 2 different versions, a protected and an unprotected. And this is the second video in a series of 3. The third video will be looking at using program 62 with the scanner. Thank you.